Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle called Neapolitan by Pie Guy, which I'm already liking a lot for a variety of reasons, for a huge variety of reasons. In the frivolous side of things, I'm liking it because of the name Neapolitan. And I mean, I guess that's showcasing that there are three flavors of marking in the grid: X's, white dots, and black dots. And they're even split in the top in the manner of Neapolitan ice cream. I guess the black is the chocolate, the white is the vanilla, and the X is the raspberry, clearly preferable to strawberry. There's no arguing about that. I like this puzzle because of the name of the constructor, Pie Guy, who we have done once on the channel before, but it wasn't me, it was Simon. And I am going to take the opportunity to bore you with a story. Back when Simon and I did our first venture together, about 20 years ago, we started a crossword magazine called The Magpie, which is still running. It was called The Magpie because of a conflation of our crossword pseudonyms. I was Mr. Magoo and he was Pieman, and these were based on our names. My initials are MR, my first name begins MA, and my second name begins GOO, and I thought that made Mr. Magoo quite nice. Simon was Pieman based on the nursery rhyme about Simple Simon meeting a pieman. But at the end of the first year of The Magpie, we had a pub party in London, and lots of the subscribers turned up and had the chance to meet us. And one subscriber in particular was delighted not only to meet us, but that we both brought our wives for that first celebration. And he thought that it was a great opportunity, as he put it, to meet Mrs. Magoo and Pie Woman, which I thought was brilliant use of the pseudonyms. And I love the idea that this constructor is called Pie Guy, and I'm imagining Pieman, Pie Woman, and Pie Guy as a whole family of superheroes whose superpower is obviously perfect aim with custard pies. I mean, that's clear. Anyway, that is enough absolute drivel from me to begin with. No, it's not. It is not enough absolute drivel, because I will now take the chance to say why I actually do like this puzzle for Sudoku reasons. And that is the beauty of this construction. Look at those 3 X's, 3 whites, 3 black dots, and then down here one of each, or not quite, no, but a mix of those symbols, but they're all in the same rows. Apparently this puzzle resolves unambiguously. That is fascinating. It is a brilliant construction, and this reminds me, very importantly, that this week we have put out the final update in our Domino Sudoku, and I would have loved to have this puzzle available for it, because this setup is brilliant. I mean, I don't know how it solves yet, so there is one very slight proviso attaching there. But the reason I thought that Crusader 175's puzzle sections was brilliant was the way the original grid is divided up into sections using the different domino markings, and yet the puzzle solves absolutely beautifully as well. We may get the same today. I'd love it if we did. But this really appeals to me as a setup. Very impressive, Pie Guy. We will go through the rules in a moment. There is a knight's move. That's going to mess with my head. Oh, I've had problems this week. Right, I've had Sudoku problems this week. I haven't had real life problems, thank goodness. Well, not more than the normal quota. But before we do that, we still have time left before the 20th to enter the competition on Patreon based on tennis this month. Tennis Anyone is Glum Hippo's, well, we've contributed as well, but Glum Hippo's Sudoku hunt, and it's really good. Give it a try. There is, well, the meta is very heavily based on tennis, but the rest of it is only loosely themed on tennis, the Sudoku puzzles bit. Do give it a try. It is great fun. And there's more content on Patreon. We've put up the extremely hard crossword solve this week. There's all sorts of other things going on. And on Discord, the links under the video will take you to Discord, to Patreon, to the apps. which are more than just Domino Sudoku. There are many more apps, and Sven SUDOKU PAD, and our merchandise, etc. But the first link is to this puzzle, Neapolitan, by PieGuy, about which I have talked for some time and not actually told you the rules, so here goes. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We're going to be putting 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. Cells a knight's move apart may not contain the same digits, so those couldn't both be 5. That would be breaking the rules. Now, I did a puzzle by Panthera at the start of the week, well no, a couple of days ago, which was also had a knight's move constraint, and I forgot it for a solid 14 minutes or something. Hopeless, I know, hopeless. Some people suggested that I should have a chess knight literally sitting in front of me on the table, or that I should put a huge post-it on my screen with knight's move. I'm just going to try to be better, because frankly, even if I did that, I would block it out after a minute or two, because life. There is a chance of me remembering in this puzzle the chess knight's move, because I can see these top 2 rows have no markings, and the Sudoku part of my brain says that those could not possibly resolve one from the other unless there was some sort of negative constraint about the puzzle that was applying. So if you imagine the finished grid, if there was no knight's move constraint, you could swap row 1 and row 2. It could make no difference to the solvability of the Sudoku, but the knight's move constraint will change that. And the fact, I realise there's no marking in the grid to show knight's moves, but the fact the grid is set up like that might help remind me. And if this is a 2-minute precursor to me forgetting for another 14 minutes about the knight's move, that's just going to be very sad, although you can laugh. Now, cells joined by a black dot contain digits in a 2 to 1 ratio. Cells joined by a white dot contain consecutive digits. Cells joined by an X contain digits that sum to 10. No negative constraints on those, but what an interesting puzzle idea. Do give it a try on the link under the video. No idea how this is going to play, but I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, how do you possibly begin? This is very little markings. A very small amount of markings in a grid of this sort. No given digits, obviously. So we've got 2 black dominoes down the final column. Black domino digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. 5, 7 and 9 don't have any numbers that are Sudoku numbers that are half or double them, so they can't appear. But these could, it's worth remarking that the 3 and the 6 kind of form one family of black digit dots, and the 1, 2, 4, 8 form a different family. But that said, these could be 1, 2, 4, 8. Wow, what on earth? Okay, 5s can never appear on black dots or X's. So the 5 in row 3 is in one of those cells, and the 5 in row 4 is in one of those. Okay, that's interesting. Now, there is this knight's move constraint. I haven't forgotten it yet. Yeah, that's interesting. One of these 2 must be a 5, and I will explain that by saying that if the 2 5s in these cells were not in those 2, then to stay out of the same column, they'd have to be placed either like that or like that, and those would be a knight's move apart. So therefore, one of these is a 5. So this is a 5 going with either 4 or 6. Does that... Yes, I think that does mean that this X can't be a 4-6 pair. Because whether... This is an interesting property of cells in this relationship, is that in a knight's move puzzle, these 4 have to all be different cells, because that one can see that one on the horizontal and that one on the knight's move. That one can see that one on the horizontal, that one on the knight's move. It's obviously reversible, a commutable function. a commutative function, and therefore these 4 are always different digits. These 4 are always different digits, therefore, as well. Getting the palette out to have a look at if that means anything. Does it somehow mean that this is a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8? No, I don't think it does. 5s. Parity. Parity is an interesting concept here. Okay, I think this could be about rows 3 and 4. But except now I've just had another thought about 5s. Where do 5s go in row 6 and row 7? Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, one of these... No, where do they go in row 6? That's better. One of these is a 5. So that's the 5 in box 5, and none of these digits is a 5. So where's the 5 in this row now that we know none of these is a 5? Well, it's either there or there on the white dot. It can't be on the black dot or the X. Sorry, I don't know if I explained. The reason it can't be on a black dot is 5 is not a Sudoku digit that can go on a black dot, because it doesn't have a Sudoku number that's half or double it. It can't go on an X because it would go with another 5 to make the total up to 10. That's worth knowing. Right. So 5's in one of these positions. But then where's 5 in row 7? Is it in the other position? Do you know what? It's not. Right. Okay, let's go back one step. Where is 5 in box 6? It can't be on a black dot or an X, and we're left with this T shape. Now all of those cells see this cell, 2 of them on the vertical, 2 by Knight's move. And therefore, if we know that 5 is in this shape, we know it's not here. The same is true over here. We get this T shape and 5 can't be there. So 5 in row 7 is in one of those 2 positions. And whichever one of these it is a 5, by Knight's move determines which one of these is a 5. So we've either got 5s in that shape or in that shape. And whichever one of these is a 5 sees all of these cells in a plus beneath it. That's what these positions do on the edges of boxes. And then 5, if that was a 5, 5 down here would have to be in one of those 2 cells. If 5 was there, 5 in box 9 would have to be in one of those 2 cells. So one of these in row 9 is a 5. So we've either got something like that. So the 5 in row 8, if this was the disposition of 5s, we had a 5 here, and we must have a 5 here, and then one of these is a 5. The 5 in row 8, which can't be here by Knight's move, is going to have to be in one of these 2. And the same is true if it's the other way round. The 5 in row 8 is going to have to be in one of those 2. So, I don't know, 5s have to be in these positions in the bottom 4 rows. And I'm beginning now to think, annoyingly, that this doesn't actually help much. Let's go back to these digits. No, let's go back to rows 3 and 4 and think about parity. Yes, that's what I was about to do before I got sidetracked by 5s. Right, there are 3 odd digits and 3 even digits in this section. How do I know that? Because a white dot connects consecutive digits, one of which must be odd and one of which must be even. Okay. Okay, I've got something to go on, finally. In these 2 rows, there are 2 sets of 1 to 9. Each set of 1 to 9 contains 5 odds and 4 even digits. So in those 2 rows, there are 8 even digits. Not at least, not at most, but exactly 8. 3 of them are here. Every single one of these black dots must contain an even digit. And that's at least 6 even digits. And there could be more. In fact, I don't know. Is there a reason why there are more here? Those have to all be different. No, I don't think so. But we're up to 6 even digits. So there's a maximum of 2 even digits here, which would allow one of these x's. X is always made up of either 2 evens or 2 odds. And one of these could be an even pair. Otherwise, they're all odd pairs, which I think is possible to coexist, even though these 4 cells have to all be different. Yeah, this is something. So there are the number of even digits in here is either 2 or 0. So the number of even digits here, is either 3 or 5. Can it be 3? That is the question. Can it be 3? If there were 3 even digits, there would be 3 odd digits. The 3 odd digits would have to involve either 2 1s or 2 3s, because 1 and 3 are the only odd digits that can go on black dots. Now, if it involved 2 1s, it would also involve 2 2s. 2 of these, and they'd have to include that one, would have to be 1 2 pairs. The other one, using an odd digit again, would be a 3 6 pair. Now, we've used up all the 1s and 2s for the rows, so none of these x's could use 1 and 2. They would have to use 3 7s and 4 6s as x pairs. There's definitely going to be a 4 or a 6. In fact, there's going to be 2 4s and 6s. Yes, okay. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work for a peculiar reason. Right. I'm sorry, this just needs to be done in the head, I think. Well, I mean, there may be other ways to approach this puzzle. This is the way I'm doing it. Okay, I'm going to start by saying there cannot be 2 1s and 2 2s used in this area, because that reduces the x possibilities here to 3 7 and 4 6. And one of them at least would have to be 4 6. So let's imagine that we've got a 4 6 pair here. Well, let's put it there to keep it away. These have 2 5s in, therefore they must use A4 and A6, and that is now going to have used up all the 4s, 5s and 6s in these 2 rows, as well as all the 1s and 2s, and we must actually have 2 pairs of 3 7s as well. So all we've got left for one of these white dots and one black dot is 2 8s and 2 9s. Well, that's not going to work. You can't put a 9 on a black dot. Okay, I think it's going to be a similar situation if we imagine that 2 3s were used here. 2 3s and a 1, remember? Oh, I'd forgotten that we were attributing a 3 6. That would have killed that version much earlier. Anyway, it probably will help when I do it with 3s and 6s. Let's just fill in imaginary digits. I'm now going to imagine that we're using, again, 3 odd digits here, which I'm sure is wrong. But let's imagine it was 2 3s, 2 6s. Let's not worry about the knight's move or anything for now, or where these actually go. And then a 1 2, because we need to get another odd digit into this section. So those would be the digits we use here. Now, the 2 5s in this section would both have to go with 4s, because we've used up the 6s. That's really a silly way around of putting them, because we used up the 6s here. And now, you can't use 3, 6 or 4 in making these x's. So they're from 1, 9 and 2, 8. But each one of them would need a 1 or a 2. And that would be 3 more 1s and 2s. And we've already got 2 here. So that adds up to 5 1s and 2s. And that's nonsense. So that is not what's happening. We're not using 3 odds here. Therefore, we're using exactly 1 odd in this section. And that means we're using 5 evens there, 3 evens there, no evens here. These are all odd. And most of these are even. So these are all from 1, 3, 7 and 9. 5 and 7 are getting used here. Now, we're going to, sorry, 5s, both 5s, that's what I'm trying to say, are getting used here. So over, well, no, in the remaining white dot that doesn't have a 5 in, and in one of these black dots, we're going to use up either a 3 and a 7 or a 5 and a 1. Right, let us think now about yeah, either this is using both 3s and we have a 1, 2 on one of the black dots, or this is using both 1s and we have a 3, 6 on the black dot. No, we can't. Yeah, we could do that. That would be the second 3. That's fine. Okay, let's imagine fives. Now I'm thinking about non-black dot digits, 5, 7 and 9. So 2 5s are in this group, or in 2 of them. 3 of 7 and 9 are here. So the other of 7 and 9 is in the remaining white dot, going with either 8 or 6. I'm trying to work out whether we're using a 1, 2 or a 3, 6 here. Maybe I can't do it, but but it's an interesting exercise, an interesting thought exercise. If we used a 1, 2, what do I think is actually likely? I think 3, 6 is unlikely. So if we used a 3, 6, we'd have used up all the 3s. So over here we'd have 2 1 9s and 2 3 7s. No, 2 1, sorry. If we used up a 3 6 on the right, over here we'd have 1 3 7 and 2 1 9s. The remaining 7 would have to go on a white dot. And what's happening? Yeah, 2s will go on black dots. Both 2s will go on black dots. And they, yes, so if we've used a 3 6 here, these will be involving either a 5 and a higher odd or a higher odd digit, all of them. So if we've used 3 6 here, both 2s will have to go on black dots, and they can't go with 1s because we've used the odd digit. So they would both have to be 2 4s. And now we've used 2 4s and a 6. And the 5s are going to have to go with another 2 digits out of 4 and 6, which makes us have 5 4s and 6s in the rows. And that is not right. Therefore, 3 6 is not the pair that uses an odd digit in these. It is a 1-2 pair. So somewhere in here there is a 1-2 pair. All the other digits are even. Therefore, only one of these is a 1-9 pair, because that uses up the 2 ones. The other two are 3-7 pairs. This central one, given that we know these 4 digits are different, this central one, they are 1, 3, 7 and 9, and we're using a second 3-7, so that central one is definitely a 3-7 pair. Now, we've used 1, 2, and we're going to use the other 2 again in a black dot, because the odd digits on these are 2 5s and a higher number, a non-black dot number. So the second 2 is also going to be on these black dots with a 4, because it can't be with another 1. So one of them is 1 2, one of them is 2 4, and the other one can't use a 2, and it can't be 3 6 because we've used up all the 3s. So it's 4 8. So there are 2 2s. Okay, these digits are 1 2 4, 2 4 and 8. And we're going to definitely use 2 and 4 in each row, along with 1 and 8. And these digits that we have remaining, we must know what they are. We've used up the 2 4s, so both 5s go with 6s. Although I don't know which of the pairs is a 5-6 pair, and the other pair is using a 9 and an 8. So that group of cells is a 5, 6, 8, 9 pair. Wow, I mean that has taken me a ridiculous length of time, but it's definitely true. Now, what next? What next? What does that do? Okay, we've got this 5-6 pair here. This central one had to have a 5 on. So this is not 6-3. This is from 1, 2, 4 and 8, this black dot. All of these are from 1, 2, 4 and 8. All of these, they're from the 1, 2, 4, 8 family. Does that definitely mean this is from the 3, 6 family? I don't know. I don't think it's obvious that it is. Oh, let's do some parity counts here as well. Right, we start with what seem like the least helpful markings, the white dots, because in parity terms we know something about them. Here there are 4 odds and 4 evens. There are only 8 evens in the whole segment, and 4 of them are on white dots. So the other 4 must include 3 at least on black dots, because each black dot needs at least 1 even digit. Therefore, the remaining even digit after that, well, it can't go on an X because it would have to go with another even digit which doesn't exist. So those are odd. So this is a 1, 3, 7 or 9. I mean, that's what these odd X's have to be from. Now we've got a quad over here, which isn't helping at the moment, but is interesting. So these are odd. 2 of these are going to have odd digits on as well, and one of them is going to be double even. Is that, I mean, it's true. Oh, this digit is even because it's on a black dot, so it's not 5, and we know all the odds are ruled out. But two of these digits are odd. Ooh, if we knew what these were. That is a 3-7 pair. And these are all different digits. So one of these is also from a 3-7 pair, and 3 and 7 are used up in these cells. Therefore, this is not a 3 or 7. This is from 1 or 9. Yeah, 2 of these X's are 3 7s, so 2 3 7s appear here. That's right. That is now a 1 9X, and those cells both see these cells, so they can't have a 1 in. So these are both even. That is odd because we need to get 2 odds on the black. This is 1 odd, 1 even in its domino. This odd number on a black dot sees those and can't be a 1. And there's our first digit in the grid after 22 minutes. I don't feel clever today. Anyway, this has been complex. That is a 6. There's our second digit. Now, this can't be... Oh, do we know what this is? This can't be a 3, I know that, but it could still be a 1. And that would be a 2. That would be 1 4 8. That would... No, that doesn't work. 2 and 4 have been used there. Ah, this is 1 or 8. It's the same as with the 3 and 7s over there. This is 1 or 8, so this is 2 or 4. That is definitely even. This is definitely odd. Now I know it's 1, and that's 2. That's lovely. That's not a 2, but that doesn't do much else there. These can't have a 1 on because of that. These can't have a 1 in. That's a 2 4 8 set. This is a 1 2 4 set at the top. Oh, and look. We've got 1 2 in this final column, so we know this is a 4 8 pair. These have to be different by the knight's move rule, so they are a 1 2 pair. We know the order. And these, what did we decide they had to be? That's a 4, that's a 2. There we go. There we go. We're underway. Now, there are no 1s in this section, so one of them is a 9. None of those are a 9, therefore. And therefore, neither of these are an 8. Actually, that's given to us by this. 9 is in one of those, so 1 is definitely in one of these cells, and that's not a 1 anymore, and it wasn't ever since we did that. 9 and 1 go in there. Now, none of these are a 9. Actually, we knew that a moment ago. These... Okay, let's get rid of the corner marks out of those as well. Here we go. Who knew this would be a parity puzzle? Not me at the start. Let's keep doing the colours just in case it triggers something in my brain. 1 3 6 7 9. Is it worth looking at these? I don't think it really is. 1 2 4 8. Oh, this can't be even because it sees 2 4 6 and 8. That is interesting. So that's odd. That's even. This even digit is not 2 or 4. It's 6 or 8. This is therefore 5 or 7. It can't be 9. This can't... It sees 4 odds, but it could still be odd because 5 is left over. That 8 doesn't reach into this central section. Right, let's do... Oh, knight's move. I mean, I hadn't forgotten it. It's just I didn't know where its application would come. Oh, look, no, before... Well, I was going to put 1 in the central box by knight's move. If you consider the knight's moves from those cells, we can actually place that. But I didn't need that. I've just spotted this is obviously a 3-7 pair because of that 1-9. So that's 2 3-7 pairs. This is the 9-1 pair. That didn't go any further. Classic. Right. That is now not a 9 because of the knight's move. So this is 9. That's 8. And now we know where the 5-6 pair are. I can colour these. I'm going to do it because I'm like that. 5 6 9 1. Right. Now 1 3 7 9 6. This can't be a 2 because that can't be 1 or 3. So it's 4 5 or 8. If it's 4, this is 5, but this is not allowed to be 5 based on the logic we did earlier that 5's in one of those cells can't be here. So that's not 4. This is 5 or 8, and this is therefore, well, 4, 6, 7 or 9. I don't know how to rule any of those out particularly. Yeah, I do. 4 has to be in one of those cells in this box, so that sees that. 5, 6, 9. I suspect it's all got a lot easier. I'm not really seeing how yet, but it just takes a while to process. Oh look, 1, 1, that can't be a 1 by knight's move. So that's not a 1, this is a 1. There we go. That's a 1. I'm going to finish off the 1s there. Nice. Okay. 9s. No, 9 is in one of those cells. I don't think the 9s are set up to let me finish. One of those is a 4. Oh, we've got that 3, 7 X-wing. So 7 in box 7 has to be down here somewhere. Actually, all these 5s I pencil marked earlier, they're not actually very helpful now. And in fact, maybe even the opposite, which is a bit weird. I'm thinking about removing them. 8 in that box is in one of those 2 cells. 9 over here is in one of those 2. No, that 3, there we go, just ordinary Sudoku sees that. 7, 3, does not much else. There's a 3 in one of those cells now. 7 can't be there or there, that's not interesting. These are from, these include a 6, and therefore that can't be a 6. That's good. 8 there, 7 there, 4 here. Don't know what there. This is not 7 now. That hasn't fixed this. Now, we've got a 5, 6, 9 triple here. The central one can't be 9 by the knight's move. 3 and 7 are in those cells, and that's 7 or that 7 see this one, so they're done. 2, 4, 8 here in the row, so now I know this is a 5. That's a 6. This is not 5. This is 5. And that 5 sees these 2 cells, which are not 5. 5 is definitely in one of those 2, not in one of these 2. And now the 5 pencil marking is okay. That is a 9 to complete the row. There's a bit of colouring, and there's another bit. These are 2, 4, and 8. That can't be 8 or 2, so that's a 4. That's an 8 on the dot, and that's a 2. And they're all blue. This can't be 8 by knight's move. This can't be 2. This can't be 5. Come on, knight's move. Just keep helping. We do get to a stage in knight's move puzzles where it's not a hindrance and a really difficult thing to see. It's suddenly a great help. So 2, 7, and 6 to place in this column. Using the knight's move, I reduce it to a triple as useless as a chocolate teapot. 2, 4, and 3 to place in this one, and that's not even that helpful. But 8 in this box must be there. I'm going to abandon the colouring now. I think it's done its job. There we go. This one can't be 2 or 7. That is 3 or 6. And here is another definitionally chocolate teapot group. 8 is in one of those. 3, 6, 1, 5, 7, 8. 9. Oh, 9 is definitely here. 4 can't be here. So this must be a 2. This is a naked single. It sees 3, 6, 1, 9 in the box. It sees 8 and 4 there and 5 there. And it sees a pair of 7s in that group. So that is a 2. That doesn't place 2 here for me, or indeed anywhere. That's surprising. 2, 1, 9, 3, 7, 7, 8, 2, 1, 9. Don't know any of those. 8 can't be here now and is here. So it's in one of these 2, and that's an X-wing on 8s. With those 2. So 8 can't be anywhere here now and is therefore here in column 2, not here. We've got a 4 to place in this box, can't do that. Oh, the 7 is breaking up this 3, 7 set, very useful. can't get a 5 or 6 to reach that group yet. Something's going to have to. That's 2 or 4. Now, 4 is definitely in one of these 2 cells in this column. So it can't be there. That's a 2. And now that bounces back and 2 can't be in those cells and is down here. And that fixes this quadruple at the bottom. I think we might be heading for a conclusion now. That's a naked 4. 5 and 7 finish that box. 3 and 4. Ooh, 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. Right, 5 and 6 see that cell. So that's a 9. That didn't get anything else done. 4, that can't be 4. 9, 1, 3, 4. No, let's go up here. 4, 6, and 8. That's 4 or 6. That is any of them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That can't be 9, so that's 9. This is 7. That's 2. 9 is in one of these 2. It's there. That's not 9. This is where 7 goes in the final column. 3, 6, and 5 to place in that box. Can't do that. Still haven't sorted out the 5, 6 pair where we started the puzzle. 5's in one of those 2. Okay, I'm missing something now. I don't know what it is, obviously. Cursor probably always circling around it. Yes, 3 is looking at that cell. I mean, the cursor was close that time. I'm not sure it was definitely on it. Now, 3 in the top row is there. This is a 5, 6 pair. Still got this box 1 to do. That is 5 or 8. This is a naked 5. It sees 2, 3, 7, 1, 8, 9 in the row, 4, 6 in the column. That is going to get us finished. Look, that 6 has lent into the 5, 6 group. There we go. Thank you. 6, 6, 5. That's 6. Oh, I could have done 9 here. I just didn't see it. 6, 5. As long as I've got this right, we are finished. And that is a very clever puzzle. I would have loved to have had that in the app. Beautiful work, Pie Guy. Very nice Neapolitan flavors of Sudoku. And excellent use of the Knight's move as well. Really interesting. I don't know if I had to do all that work with parity at the beginning. I'd be interested to know how you solved it if you did it a different way. But thank you very much for watching the channel. And we will see you again tomorrow for more. Bye for now.